I would ask them, how do you analyze a binary? How well? Because I'm going to take a little aside for a moment here to talk about binary versus source scanning. One thing that's really nice about binary scanning, I was saying, it's an earlier point, I was talking about how source scanning tends to be deterministic, at least when it's package manager based, because we know that it is what they say they are. But binary scanning is probabilistic. However, when you're doing source scanning, you have to believe the attestation of the build process as you understand it. But that does not mean that's the build process, because what gets into that final binary, you don't know until you do a binary scan on it. So so now I've done a binary scan on it, I find there's that list of things that the source said was in there, and then there's all these other things that got in because we didn't fully understand the build process. So what I would ask your vendors when you're evaluating an SCA solution, can you look at the source code, and then can you look at the binary, and can you reconcile that to prove that nothing snuck in through some other vector, so we can get a real view of our total risk? So that's number one, I would say. Number two, does your solution really support SBOM and VEX and VDR? Because they don't all support them fully. Do they actually produce compliant SBOMs? It'd be very sad to go to a regulator and say, here's my SBOM, and have them say, nope, that's not a valid SBOM. So I would say definitely hammer on what's the SBOM support like? What's the binary support like? Because these are the things that are going to matter when it comes to risk and regulation compliance.